Okay guys, I'm at Whalley Abbey at the moment in Lancashire, UK. Amazing old place. There's a skull just there, so a lot of noise. This particular part of this abbey, the gatehouse, was built in 1296. Gonna have a walk around, give you some information, and then we're going to set off in the countryside over to a place called Slaidburn. Some history over there. Beautiful, beautiful countryside to hike over there. So yeah, Whalley Abbey, this building is a bit newer. Like the stone from the original abbey was used to build some of that building around there. It's beautiful. Usually quiet little area, but like I said, there is a school and the kids are there playing out. Nobody here, just me and my mum. Spring is coming, it's lovely. Also, I love these old places. I think when me and my mum was in Heptonstall, at what that was over there. There's a few factories and things around here. At Heptonstall, you get a feeling of peace when you're walking around. These places puts everything into perspective. Little problems are not worth worrying about. Obviously, some people have big problems. Whether family, health, money, anything like that, but I really do think as long as you've got your health and you've got people, good people around you, I think you're so lucky. Now my mum somewhere in this abbey, we'll find her in a second. So these are the old choir pits where the monks used to stand and these pray and sing. The old kitchens are over there, I'll show you them in a second. Like I said, the original gatehouse, 1296, over there. That is an old building. I can hear my mum. My mum is here. We were just saying I don't know where my mum's gone. Hello.
Hello, I'm here.
Just having a wander around.
Yeah. Thought I'd lost you then, mate.
It's wind up, isn't it?
It's winding out than it were now, but yeah. when you realise how old it is, you know, after just, you know, looking into it a bit, it's a very old place, isn't it? All these monasteries that were sort of closing, dissolution of the monasteries. But Henry VIII, weren't it, who started up that, because he were Church of England and he didn't like all these Catholic monasteries.
Loads of history on do. Climb.
Very historic. They knew how to build the buildings in them days, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely.
The walls are thick, aren't they?
Yeah. So a lot of abbeys are like this because they reuse the stone, don't they? They take it away. A lot of this stone's been used for that back of that building. I'll show you after over there. I'm here.
I listened to a radio in car the other day, and they were on about urban explorers, and they were saying, is there anybody out there who's urban explorers? Apparently somebody had been in an old house, you know, well, they shouldn't have been in, but that's what they're doing there, and they discovered a body.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you never know, do you?
Been missing for quite a long time. They were saying, if there's any urban explorers, give us a ring and tell us where you're going. And
I've been in a few on my own before, but it's a bit thingy because
I thought about you.
Yeah, you can get people hiding out in there, you know, like homeless people, and
I used to be
you know, they've been because you know a lot of them are on the drugs, and it can be they've been quite violent.
But we thought about you when they were saying about urban explorers, you know.
Yeah.
I thought Mick would be ring up. Well,
so went to that old mansion, found a old mansion over Tobin, and you know, what's the name of that place beside you? Worsthorne. Yeah, on my own, day and night, and an old Gothic one in Woods in Great Hall, day and night.
Wow.
But I nearly fell through the floor, so I won't do it again.
You've got to be careful, haven't you, really, with all.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything happened, nobody would know you were there, would they?
No, because you walk in that one, it's an old Gothic mansion, like on the lawn like this, and you walk in. So we're walking in, and I just had a quick, you know, a few steps in, but what you forget when you walk in, you think you're on the ground, but actually there's cellars underneath them, and so all floorboards cracked and went down, and I had to grab something. So
very careful, really, haven't you?
It's dangerous, like So this is the old Abbott's kitchen. I have showed this on the channel before, but it's on our way to Slaidburn, so I thought we'd just have a look. The old fire pits there, you see. The chimney, and I think this one's blocked off. Yeah.
Oh, the chimneys are where they used to do the cooking and all the smoke used to go up.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, chimney.
Yeah.
Chimneys, basically,
Chimney.
aren't they? But not the chimney of a fire, a chimney of a cooking.
Well, yeah. Used to be a big fire then, cooking in the chimneys, yeah. And then I read this area was more for just keeping things warm, you know, ticking over once it were cooked.
Yeah, like a hot plate.
Yeah, they had a little fire, and that's what we read. They used to just put there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't imagine what people have been here, can you?
Yeah, because you can see up there would have been a little bit of a chimney. There's a little bit of info over here, I think. Yeah, the Abbott's Kitchen and Long Gallery. So I just wanted to give you guys time to read that. No one else here apart from me. My mum. Beautiful area. Quite often come here, especially in the summertime. Sit down on one of these benches. Very quiet through the week. No one around. Edit some videos together. Great place to come. Bit of info here about the church, the choir bits. So it is a former Cistercian abbey. The monks from Stanlaw moved over here after a fire over in their church. So the monks of Whalley Abbey, which is about 7 miles away, wasn't too happy. They lost quite a lot of income to Whalley. Quite a big dispute went on, but that was settled in 1305. All these hundreds of years ago history, I find it fascinating. The church here was completed in 1380, but the rest of the abbey wasn't completed till 1480. So 100-year difference there. A lot of work to be done. So we will be on our way in a minute to Slaidburn. Beautiful countryside, beautiful drive. I'll film some of that. Some history over there. We're going to have a hike. It's a dark sky area. Just a new area to check out and get over in the summer, possibly with a few people. We'll find in new areas. Another area here, the cloisters and lavatorium. So relaxing here. This is what I love. Coming down here and editing some videos, peace and quiet. Sounds like them kids have gone in now. We always tend to arrive at these places and there's outings of kids, colleges, very popular, but this is a school next to the abbey, and do most of the filming with all this background noise, and then when I've finished it goes quiet, typical. I was just saying, Mum, how many places we've been like this that we're filming, and there's school kids, noise, they all played out when we got here. Yeah. And when I got to Bolton Priory, remember they were in that big outing there. Yeah. And then when we were at Brimham Rocks, there were chainsaws going off and all that business. Right, yeah. And every single place. Once I've been round and finished what I were filming, it all goes quiet then. Yeah. It's typical, isn't it? Yeah. I'm trying to get some cookies, but it's a bit dark with that, just the angle works, isn't it? I'll just go and quickly have a look at the old priory. There we go. Nice little area here next to the River Calder. All the daffodils are out. These daffodils are nice, aren't they?
I've got a photo. I had them last week. I got a photo. I've got another photo today. Yeah, they're lovely, aren't they? It's lovely as well, very spring right now.
Yeah. Sun's feeling a bit warmer, isn't it? It's nice.
It is, it's gone warmer today, since it's come out.
So actually we're just going to call it Downham. Beautiful little area for a coffee before we carry on to Slaidburn. And some of that stone with the abbey I read about we use for these buildings. But over there on the corner you can tell that's a lot newer. So a lot of the stone from the actual original abbey was used to build this bit here, full building.
Oh, this is this was built afterward, right?
Yeah, but that's a lot. You can tell that one.
It looks as though that was part of the old
part of it all,
one,
and they use more
continued it on, haven't they?
over there and
oh yeah, you can tell
sandblasted. That's newer that bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Downham. So back Downham, this is a beautiful little place, it's just at the bottom of Pendle Hill up there. Like I said in other videos, filming the location for Whistle Down the Wind, that's a good film. And many other things are filmed here. We're going to have a coffee. Coffee time.
Gonna have this coffee, yes, gonna have the coffee. Keep us going for the next couple of hours, won't it?
Nice coffee.
Lovely coffee
Nice
in Downham,
coffee.
lovely peaceful little village.
Yeah, I like it around here.
Yeah.
I'm talking to a guy who sometimes put his camper van on there for a couple of nights. He's never had any problem.
Oh, yeah,
He just stays a couple of nights and does long walks.
Does he not lock it up, that then?
Well, he never mentioned that, and
Because there is a barrier, isn't there?
yeah,
Oh, right.
and he goes for long walks all day long.
Yeah.
Sleeps over, and then there's
Yeah, it'd be nice a couple of nights.
Quiet.
You could find
Doesn't it-
nice walks, couldn't you? Really?
2 or 3 nights in a row, and he's never had a problem. we're off to Slaidburn now. It's wound up, it's nice now.
Go through a place called Gringleton first.
Gringleton?
Yeah, and then out into the countryside.
Nice. Just pulled over, just wanted to show you this view of Pendle Hill, beautiful. Especially on a day like this. Right, we'll carry on to Slaidburn. My mum's uffing and fuffing because someone's parked in her space, but it's not her space. It's whoever decides to park there first.
No, it's my space, is that? It's got reserved.
So now we're going to have to pay because somebody's in my mum's space.
No, that pay.
Go and tell them.
Should have told them I was coming and then I could have...
So it's 4 hours, £2.10. You've got to pay everywhere, don't you? Or because somebody parked in my mum's space. £2.10 because somebody parked in your space.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
So lovely little area, dark sky area. You're miles away from any big towns here. Gonna have a walk by this river. Plenty of countryside. Good dark skies to spend the night. Just saying, we come here before a few years ago, and I thought it was about 8 to 10 years ago, but my mum's saying it was probably 15 to 17 years ago. Time flies, doesn't it? Crazy. I wouldn't have thought it's that long ago, but it must be. 15, 17 years since we all walked down here.
Over 15 years, because that's how long I worked. It must be 17. I'd say 17 years. Because I worked with Susan then.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's nice. Just out of the door here. Outside.
Yeah, it's nice.
No traffic or anything.
Nice little spot to cook a steak or something. You can sit next to it, have a barbecue, something like that. Barbecue spot. Bet there's crayfish in summertime here. Oh yeah, dead. Yeah, a dead what? Trout.
Yeah.
Trout.
But if you go to Whalleyabbey, which is near Slaidburn, and there's a big lake, and they have a lot of trout in there, I think it's nice.
All right. So near here, there's a waterfall where salmon.
No, it's near Settle. It's called
near Settle.
first.
Yeah.
And the salmon come back and jump up the waterfalls there to spawn.
Yeah.
You know, they go back to where they were actually born.
Right. Yeah, that'd be good to get on camera.
So that'd be nice to film for you.
Yeah.
All.
Have a look at that sometime.
Yeah. Have to find out when this spawn is.
Yeah, you can tell with the bank in here, this is where it comes up to, and it's winding away.
Yeah.
Just here, it's a big like.
It never used to be such a dramatic drop.
As you can see it here, it's like a little mini cliff there.
Yeah, you can see that it's come away, hasn't it? It must be a river so high, mustn't it?
Yeah, must come right up there. Yeah, when we were over this part of Hamerden Hill overnight, I've never seen so many dead sheep. Bits and bodies and bones. I mean, hundreds of them.
What's that in there?
All over there.
Is that a dead bird?
Well, no, I think that's just a bit of weed or something. Yeah.
It said there were a lot of bones and stuff.
Yeah, it's all on the video. Because when you go out, when I go out.
It could be foxes, couldn't it?
Well, yeah, it could be anything, but I'm not. You come across an old one, but they were just everywhere. There were fields of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very odd.
It is a bit strange with that. Years ago when foot and mouse were on, mine used to do that.
No, they were fresher than them. Yeah.
Piles of cows.
Yeah, but they had to bury them, didn't they? They buried them and buried them, didn't they? But no, these are some are.
Yeah, you can tell them more fresher. That's going back to
yeah.
isn't it?
But some of them definitely look like they've been, scavenged or eaten.
It's a bit frightening. Around now, we used to have to cross the change it up.
So that shoot were jumping up and down like a deer then, weren't you? You were saying,
Yeah.
Get close, Al. Yeah, they do that to show they're healthy and they're not an easy target. That's why they do that. Oh, it's a bit steep, isn't it? Like your programmes in Africa when they're really pouncing in there, that's why they do it.
Yeah.
Because predators go for the weak and vulnerable.
So that they, they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. You walk back down to the canal now, mate.
Yeah.
Come back this way.
You alright? The river, not the canal.
Not the canal, the river. There. Are we going to pounce?
They can do, they've been on. They do. Especially this time of year when they're starting to lamb. They can be quite.
They're different kinds than their mothers.
Especially if you turn your back to them.
Their mothers haven't got.
No.
Yeah, rams. Get one of them in your bum, you know about it.
Yeah. I once had one of them charging me at Pendleton. It was like it was stamping its feet, that's what they do, to warn you. And I walked past it weren't until I turned my back and carried on walking, it took a charge.
So they're alright, more or less.
It turned before it got to me, but it was, no. So I said earlier this would be a dark sky area because anywhere like this where you're away from
nowhere is there.
It's out, you've
you've just got village, but that's it.
No, yeah, local villages.
This one, yeah.
You have to set up your night vision cameras here, you'd be.
Yeah.
As you can see right round here, there's nothing, is there? Yeah, definitely worth a trip. Big cliffs up there. Have you ever noticed that?
Hey?
Big. That's like Castle Crags at Eptonstall.
Yeah.
Oh there. Yeah. Yeah, I got a good video of a heron flying the other day.
That was good than what we saw at when we were going to Janet's Foss, weren't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we were. I stood there. yeah, gotta walk round. I might have disappeared into that. I might have been talking away into the camera and just disappeared. No, you shouldn't have said out, no. No, because I wouldn't have noticed that, because I were talking and I thought, well...
You don't, do you? I knew it, like, when I come across there, I thought, oh, it's not easy to get across that.
No, you shouldn't have said out.
No, I wouldn't want you to fall over the hill. Walk, if you carry on over there, you can walk to Newton Ball.
Alright, do you want to walk over there?
No, it's too far.
Is it too far?
I have done it in past.
Alright.
It's a long way to come back, mate.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, when me and Roy did it, one of them little buses came to Newton and we jumped on it and rode back on the bus. They're a bit surprising. I'm going back 10 years now. Not recently. Not done out like that recently. No, by the time I've walked back from here, it's a fair walk.
Yeah.
Far enough for me, mate.
Just a lot to wander about today. The I can't hear what my mum's saying at the moment. It's Whalley Abbey, that's interesting, and the dark sky area. Yeah, I'll do that one day. I'll come back there. Lovely area.
Could have been great.
Yeah, could have been. If I look at that tree, the angle, the weight and pressure, what must be on that?
Do you think we slow trees like that down?
Because it's on the right. That's
Massive tree, that, isn't it? There's a lot of big old trees here, isn't there?
yeah. Well, the weight of all that lot there, for it to be on that angle, must be strong.
Them roots probably
Strong roots.
Hundreds of yards underneath, you know.
Yeah. We noticed when we were out over there, with some trees, obviously then, it's surprising, some trees, some big, they don't have that much of, you know, the ones that come over easy, that much of a root. They'll go on, but that's why they come over easy, especially them near where we live on them.
Yeah,
You know, they come over easy, don't they? So, but every time they've come over, it's not really, they're not thick roots, they're just more like sort of roots you'll get with a plant, you know.
Yeah.
So,
These really old, big old trees.
yeah.
There's a lot being cut down here, mate.
Hmm?
There's a lot
Oh yeah, yeah.
here.
Yeah, I bet they come over, a lot of them then, haven't they?
They cut them down a long while ago,
Yeah.
haven't they?
I might have a squirrel up there, but yeah, the GoPro you can't really. Yeah, it's just a squirrel. There were two big hares over the other side, weren't there? But they run off.
Yeah, they were. They ran up the hill, didn't they? They were massive with them. Shame we didn't catch them.
It's definitely gone spring-like now. It's gone nice and warm now.
Yeah, but that wind strokes, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
it's just a cold wind, but the sun's getting stronger.
Yeah, you feel it when wind drops. It's lovely. Well, getting a bit more watery by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's dried out quite well, but there are still patches of water. Similar to Heptonstall. Had a good night wild camping over there a few years ago.
Wild camping.
Wild camping, and there's a story with that. We had some eggs and they weren't packed properly and they broke in our bag. It was a bit of a rubber type bag. So I didn't want, you know, pack everything up and put them in car. So you know, we were up till about 1, 2 in the morning, so I just chucked them on fire. But they made, you know, with rubber made quite a bit of black smoke.
Alright.
About an hour later, we heard this voice outside the tent saying, hello, hello. So I unzipped it, because I thought it was like the warden saying you can't, you know, you're not really supposed to wild camp here. And it was the fire brigade. Someone from village had rung because they smelt it, so, and they come walking through.
Oh dear.
And I said, oh, you know, because it had gone down by then, I said it might have been just a bit, you know, I told him what happened, and it had gone down, and he actually said, oh, well, we can see now that's not causing, you know, any problem, so have a good night, and they walked off, and that was it. Yeah, I thought we were going to get moved on.
Yes, another adventure.
Yeah. Because, you know, you're not really, you know, in England you can't really wild camp, but you can in Scotland, anywhere you want.
Somebody in Lancashire right on top of a mountain.
Yeah.
What a view they had.
Yeah.
And they were just a little tent there, that were it, you know.
Right. Well, I watched this guy on YouTube, and he'd done a bit of hiking about and what have you, but he was single, and he said he made this video, and he wasn't working, I don't know if he had money saved up or what, but he decided he was going to hike the full length of Wales.
Right.
But what he was going to do were climb all the highest mountains in Wales, starting at Snowdonia Range and going down.
Right.
But he was going to spend the night on top of all these highest mountains and wild camp for the night and carry on.
Yeah.
And he did it. It took him a few months to get to South Wales. Then he got the train back up to near Cheshire where he lived, and it showed him going back in his house, and he basically just sat there and said, I don't believe that, it all seemed like a dream. It just goes to show what you can do with your life if you decide, you know. I mean, I've sat around bored for like months and years on end, and I thought, well, why not just, he planned it out.
Yeah, but you got to be able, I mean, you must not be working to do that.
Yeah,
know
no,
what I mean?
yeah.
You've got to have the money.
Yeah, but it just shows what, you know, such a thing like that, what anybody, because he weren't, you know, he went around walking local and things, and he got the gear and just set off and did it.
Yeah, so he must have been a walker,
Yeah.
you know.
I think it's the point where, you know, the world's your oyster if you want, you know, to go, if you just go and do it.
Oh yeah.
It's not reserved for certain people, is it?
No.
No.
Like I say, this boat was camping on top of mountains, the Lake District and Wales. And
Yeah. So what's the story with this?
Sorry,
When
mate. There used to be a courthouse years ago, and then I don't know if it when it had gone into a pub or not, but somebody had a dog called Bounty, and it was barking a lot, and somebody said "Hark to Bounty,"
Yeah, right.
and it got the name Hark to Bounty after that. That's how the story goes.
So it used to be a courthouse.
A courthouse.
A courthouse.
Courthouse.
A courthouse. Right. How old is it, do you know?
No, I don't know how old it is.
An old courthouse. Looks about 1500s, a lot of these buildings do. 1600s. So that one place what used to be a courthouse, and then it was a pub, closed down now. Very like the heart of the community type place, that, wasn't it? You know, I bet people were a bit upset when that closed down.
That was the only pub in the village,
Yeah.
so yeah, it would be at one time, it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You can imagine that. Years ago with their old tankards and you know, they used to like the beers, didn't they?
Yep.
When you could afford it.
Yeah.
A lot cheaper in them days.
Like you see with these old buildings, like you said, that must have been a door there. You've got your steps. That things change. Because hundreds of years old, these buildings, won't they?
Oh, yeah.
Lots of them will be.
I imagine so, yeah. I think it was one of the old coach roads to settle.
Right.
Through Slaidburn, you can carry right up the road we came down on, and not the little road, the big main road, and that goes over to Settle.
And you were saying you stayed in youth hostels here, but you can't remember doing it, but you know you did, didn't you?
I stayed in the youth hostel
when you was
I were about
10.
10, yeah. With a school party. Yeah.
Oh, right, quick coffee.
Do you want a coffee with tea, you?
Well, I'll see what there is.
This cake.
See what there is.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I need a cup of tea actually. I don't think coffee quenches your thirst really, myself.
Oh. Old bridge there reminds me of near Burnsall.
Yeah, it does a bit. Not quite as big as it is Burnsall. I don't know why I'm making coffee.
Well, we'll drink it sometime.
Maybe we can go to these places. We didn't drink it last time, but I ended up drinking it at night and we're all ready for me, so...
There we go, the left hand of the table. So another marker for the Pendle witches. There's a lot of these about. They were put up when it were 400 years, Mum, in 2012.
Oh, you talking to me, or you? I thought you were in the video.
Well, I am, yeah, but when it was 2012,
oh,
they put these a lot of these 400 years.
In anniversary, yeah.
Yeah. Alice and Dutter. This is the old church in Slaidburn. We'll go in if we can. Should be able to get in. Mum's got some details on this, I think. I love these old churches and graveyards in the middle of nowhere. One of the oldest stones I've ever seen is 1501. That's in Heptonstall. Once they get that old, it's very difficult to read the engravings. It was like this. There's no info on it, but very old. And again, there always seems to be a skull nearby, a skull halting. Always. That looks very old, but the engraving is worn away. Check out this one. Can't quite make that out. So these are old, aren't they, up here? You know, just... I was saying again, we can't go anywhere without like a school of kids in background. Everywhere.
Yeah, you're right. It's alright, just don't get like this is just a side door, you know.
Locked. Oh. Ah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but not around it. They're always open, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
You know, places like that. Can't let the idiots win. They can't lock everything up, can they? They can't always let the idiots win. You know, they can't. Churches they can't lock up. They keep them. Yeah, but
Yeah, they do.
most of them are open, aren't they?
Yeah. Should I say a bit of info about this, mate?
Yeah, have you got info? Yeah, have you got info?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the Church of St Andrews, and I don't know a lot about it, but it's a listed building, and the pews are ranged from the 17th century to the 19th century. I have written a bit of info down because I can't just remember it off the top of my head. Where's the font? Apparently the font cover is Elizabethan, the screen is Jacobean, and the three-decker pulpit is Georgian, which is, this is the three-decker pulpit up here. It's quite elaborate, isn't it?
Mm.
It dates from the 15th century.
Is it the church? Yeah.
The church
Yeah,
itself, and there were alterations made to it in the 17th century. So it is quite old.
Yeah, 15.
Another lovely building with some lovely stained glass windows. Very colourful, but they're beautiful.
I always find, well, we always say this, there's really relaxing churches, just quiet, and same atmosphere. It's just,
Yeah, very quiet.
it's so quiet, I know, because the thick walls, but it's always dead
I'll
quiet.
just take a photograph of that window because it is really nice. Very colourful.
So the old 15th century church at Slaidburn. Love these places.
Lovely touch, is that?
Please help yourself to a tea or coffee. It's nice, isn't it?
Lovely, isn't
Free.
it?
Yeah.
Obviously, you leave a bit of money for it, unexpected.
Yeah. Put something in the donation box, definitely. I always do when I come to church, just put a bit in.
Oh, Whalleyabbey.
There we go. That's where we went earlier. Whalleyabbey.
Get it away.
A retreat.
A retreat.
Yeah.
If you want to get away and have some quiet time.
Alright. Well, it is, like we said.
Yeah, but I think inside the building you can stay for it.
Yeah, you can.
You can
stay there. Yeah. But it is. It's always nice and quiet, especially at week. It gets a bit busier
You know, if you'd had
on a Sunday.
You feel like you need to get away just for quiet time for a couple of days.
Yeah.
You could go somewhere like that.
Yeah, definitely.
People who, you know, just want to get away from things. It's the lectern.
Hmm?
The lectern.
The lectern.
That's where they read from the Bible and that.
Yeah. Right, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please do like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll always reply. Get yourself out, does you the world of good. So it's goodbye from me and goodbye from...
It's goodbye from me. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've done a few different things today. Been lovely.
Yeah, nice. Peaceful, quiet little video. Nice to look at the Abbey and a hike in Slaidburn and into this church. Lots more coming up.